So, Dr. Thomas, really specifically want to talk about the school. Talk to me first about the school in general, what it means to you, to the community, and what the school stands for.
Great. Well, thank you, Tashara, for visiting with me today. And the King's Academy, one of the things that the founders of the King's Academy wanted to do was to give the families of this sweet community, and it's a community that I grew up in, so it's very special to my heart, uh, the same options that other communities in Dallas have. And they have choices for their child's education. And they can do public school, and public schools are great, doing great jobs. I worked for public schools for many years. They could do charter schools, or they could have a private education. But it's what has happened historically is that people in this neighborhood, of families in this neighborhood, have not been able to afford a private education. And so one of the things that our founders wanted to do, they wanted to make a Christian private education affordable to the families who desired that for their children.
And how are you guys doing that? How are you making it affordable? What's the model that you guys go by? Explain that to me.
Well, one of the things that we really depend, well, first of all, we really depend on the generosity of families, individuals, corporations, other ministries, businesses who really want to help families afford this type of education. And this education is different because one of the things we do, we start off with, we see the giftedness in each child. And not saying other schools don't do that also, but one of our philosophies that we believe that God created each child and gave them great gifts. And so we come alongside the parents and help just nurture those gifts that God has already placed there. I don't know if you've been in a kindergarten room, you can already see the orators. You can see those that want to work with their hands. You can see the mathematicians. You know, you already see that in the child. And so we just come alongside. We don't believe in taking over parental roles. We partner with the families. And our families are so wonderful. 75% of our families are at the poverty line or below the poverty line. But I'm telling you, our families want the best for their kids, and they partner with us and they work hard, and we're all into spiritual formation and academic formation. And we don't believe our kids, we feel like our kids have to excel. We want them to be really prepared to whatever profession God calls them to. And I tell the kids all the time that it starts now. It starts in kindergarten and first grade. You can't start in junior high or high school. And so we're just really excited about the mission that God has given us here to prepare the future generation.
I want to go back to that question about income. How are you guys making it affordable or making it to where those families that are at or below the poverty line can't afford it?
Well, we depend on the generosity and donations from major corporations, individuals, families. We have a program called Adopt a Student or Adopt a Classroom. And what people do, they pay for the tuition for a year or more years for a student. And the tuition is about $15,000 a year. And so we have families and businesses and corporations and ministries that commit to sponsoring a child for their tuition, and it's working really well. Every family has to pay something. And so, but it's based on their income. And so we have families that, you know, may only pay $25 a month based on their income. We have families here, some of our families are, you know, can pay $200 a month. So it's a sliding scale based on income. And we didn't want income, personal family income, to be a deterrent to a kingdom education. We feel like we're all in this together, and we don't receive state or federal funds. And so everybody has to take part in it. Yeah.
Tell me about that family affair, right? I heard that from both of the families that I talked to. Basically said this isn't just a school, it's a family. I'll start first by asking you, what is the motto that you guys go by? I know you said what the
Mhm,
founders kind of envisioned for the school, but do
mhm.
you guys have a scripture or a motto that you go by, and then talk about what it means to be a family there?
Definitely, definitely. Like I said, we start with, we just believe that every child was created in the image of God. And so and that's no small thing. So every child has great value and great worth. And so we view each child like that. And so when we interact with our families, we go in knowing that God gave them that child. And so they know that child best. And so we learn a lot about that child from the parent. And also, we do a lot of social emotional
Mm,
piece that we do. We not only want a firm spiritual foundation, a firm academic foundation, or an exemplary academic foundation, we want each child to be able to take that and know how to treat others, know how to disagree without being disagreeable,
mhm.
know how to self regulate, have executive functioning, know how to deal with disappointment and challenge and work hard. Those are all pieces. I don't care how intelligent and how much book sense you have. If you don't have those executive functioning skills, those social skills, those emotional well being skills, they're going to hinder anything. And so we're really big on working with the families, with helping the children grow in those areas, because sometimes if the children have been through some trauma situations, we have to go back and build those things. One of the major scriptures is Deuteronomy 6:6 through 9, is that as we're walking with the children, we're going to teach them every day. For instance, when we're teaching about plants, and we teach all the systems of the plant, the roots, the leaves, the stems, everything that works about the plant, but we also talk about how God made the plants in Genesis, in the Genesis account. When we're talking about money, we're going to teach them what dimes, nickels, and dollars, and how to add money, and all those kinds of things about little businesses they can start, all that. But we're going to talk about how the Bible says that we need to be good stewards of our money,
Mm.
and how we need to save, and how we need to give to God, and serve others. Last year, we took up money to just bless. We brought pennies, nickels, dimes, whatever we could find, just to bless another ministry.
I like
So
that.
it's just exciting, to just to be in this and to be part. I'm telling you, one of the greatest things is to see a child learn how to read, or read their Bible, or just learn about math. When you see that light come on, I'm telling you, they have just, they can do anything, through Christ. So we're really excited about that.
And you were in public school, if I'm reading
Mhm.
correctly, 30
Uh,
years?
yes, I'm a proud graduate of Dallas Public Schools, Skyline Raiders. I won't say the year because I don't want to date myself. and worked in public schools, Dallas Public Schools, for years. I worked in this community at J.J. Rhodes, Paul Lawrence Dunbar, Charles Rice, loved working there. Um, yeah, but been in Christian education for the past 30 years, and well, past 20 years.
Okay. And then you've been with the school since it started, so the last 2
I,
years?
I've been in 3 private schools, Christian schools, and had a each has been wonderful, but each a little different twist. My first school was a urban school that had more of a working middle class families.
Mhm.
Then my second school was really upper class families in
Mhm.
North Dallas. And then this school where I grew up at is in one of the highest poverty areas in Dallas. And let me tell you, each school I have loved, but this school is near and dear to my heart,
Oh, I could
because
only imagine.
I know personally some of the challenges. I had a single mom raising 3 kids, and I remember the struggles,
Mhm.
you know, and I remember the joy and the richness of this community too, and just the community that's here. And it's just so wonderful to be back over here and just serving these families.
And how long have you been there at this school?
This is my second year.
So you were the head of school when they first opened.
Yes, we've only been in existence 2 years.
Right.
Yeah, this is our second year. It's been 3 years. Just the first year was preparation, and then last year we opened with 30 students. That was our goal, and that's what we did. And this year we have 48.
Beautiful. Beautiful. And what grades again, just so that I'm clear?
Pre-K 3, pre-K 4, kinder, first and second, and we're adding one grade a year through high school.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Beautiful. Awesome.
Yeah.
What challenges do you believe you guys face being where you are located, number one, but also just being a private school, private Christian school? What challenges do you face?
Definitely. We raising the funds. Like I said, we don't get any state or federal funds. So every day we're depending on generous donors to help us and to see the vision and to join what God is doing here. And so one of the challenges is we want to partner with the schools in our community, and we want to really want to partner with the public schools and things like that. So just finding time to get out and meet, because we feel like we're all in this together and one size does not fit all. And sometimes we want to partner together with staff development and professional development and be able, because some kids might need to go to a public school and some kids need to be here. And so for everyone to help support that. I think basically that we feel like Christians can be anywhere, and that it depends on the family and what the family wants for that child. And so sometimes public school is best for that child, and sometimes a Christian education is best, and sometimes a charter school is best. And so we believe that it's up to the family to decide what's best for that child. And so we're supportive of good education and wherever that family decides to place that child.
What else makes this private school in this area so much different than other schools, especially
Exactly.
considering that?
Well, one thing, we're small, and so we can attend to the needs of the families more. For instance, one family, one little boy, we had the health screenings here and he needed glasses and the family could not afford glasses. And so through some connections, we were able to help that family get the child glasses. And he has a pair at home and a pair here. And now when he put them on, he said, Dr. Thomas, I can see. It was just so wonderful. And one of the things, several of our families depend on the school for breakfast and lunch for their students, for their children. And so say like during the pandemic, when we had to close school, and we still do this now because we have some families learning remotely, we take grocery boxes and we partner with other ministries to do that. We take grocery boxes for breakfast and lunch items and sometimes dinner items to the families, because everybody, especially our families, are having a harder time during the pandemic. And so we wanted to make sure, I tell my families all the time, most of them have my cell number. They can call me at any time if they need food, if something's going on in the family, if they need prayer. We pick up the kids. So several of our families don't have transportation. We pick up the kids every morning. We take them back home. Um, we care about our families, and some of our families just don't have the support systems that they need. And we want our families to know that not only do I care about your child's spiritual formation, their social emotional formation, their academic formation, I care about you.
Mhm.
And we're in this together and we're going to get through it together. And sometimes it's just listening and crying and praying with someone. You call me when you're just frustrated or you're
Yeah.
down or you're not feeling, we're all human and we need somebody to know that I care about you. I have a lot of single moms
Mhm.
trying to raise 2 to 6 kids 8 kids. One mom has 8 kids. She's trying to raise 2 to 8 kids alone.
Mm,
So I want, if you need some clothes, if you need, whatever, I want to be there for you. And I care about you. And sometimes all I can do, sometimes some needs I can refer them to some different agencies. Sometimes we can meet the need. Sometimes all I can do is pray for you. But I want you to know that I care about you. But more than I care about you, God cares about you, and you're special, and you were created in his image, and you have great value and worth. And the world may not see that, because the world looks at if you have money, if you have
hmm,
a, if you live here, if you look this kind of way, you know,
mhm.
and
Yeah.
those things are good. They have their place. I want the kids at the King's Academy to have some of those things,
Right.
but whether you have those things or not, you're still of value, and you're still of high worth. And I want my families to know that, and to feel it every day.
That's good. That is good. Okay. Well, I think that's all. I don't think I have anything else. You know what? Actually, I do. Where do you see this school in 5 years?
Definitely in 5 years, we definitely want to, by then, we should be what, to seventh grade or something like that. Yeah. And we need our own building. We're in a temporary facility, so we need a building. And every child would have a sponsor, and maybe a sponsor that would go through the 12th grade. I'm already talking. I had a meeting with Dallas Baptist president, the college, Dallas Baptist, and trying to already think about scholarships for our kids. I said, I want you to start working on, Mr. President, getting my kids some scholarships, because I'm going to have kids graduating from here in a few years that will be ready to go to college. And that's, I tell my kids all the time, all of you all are going to college. I have 3 daughters. I told my 3 daughters that from day one, and 2 of them are doctors and one MBA. And I said, all these kids, you're going to go to college, you're going to be prepared, you're going to have choices for your life. So I'm
Beautiful.
excited about that.
Beautiful. All right. Well, thank you. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it.